Hi, everybody. Welcome to another ramble with me, your best friend.
Me!
And Turps.
Look at your retention. It's just bombed.
Your
Everyone's clicked off.
other loud best friend, and the retention is just bombed.
That's
what's the day today? Is it Wednesday? It's Thursday.
Is
it Wednesday?
Thursday.
It's Tuesday.
Oh no, I thought we were lying. Sorry, I was gonna cover for you. I was like, it's Thursday, the 29th, motherfuckers.
No, it's Tuesday, 27th. It's sort of early in the morning ish. Well, it's like late in the morning for me and Turps.
So I did a Yogs Clash. You know Yogs Clash that we do with for Polaris, and then it goes out on our channels. I did one with Pyrian. It feels like 8 years ago, and it's just going out on my channel now.
Oh wow!
And I wanted it to be filled with references that were just like, I wonder if that stuff in the Ukraine's going to kick off. Do you reckon the Russians will actually,
You've got to make future references in that case so that it sounds current.
Well, no,
so
I would much rather now that we have established that we're recording this today, it's going out today, I would much rather have us been like, honestly, I think it won't even go to court. I reckon Rolf Harris is innocent, so I don't think
that's old news, though. You have to invent news that nobody knows about.
People would think that we recorded this like years ago.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's another way of doing it. But like guessing news before it happens, sort of like Minority Report style.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That would be something else, wouldn't it? You could almost like you could open like a betting shop around it and say like, what are the odds of this happening? And then people would be like, oh shit, there's money to be made.
Exactly. Like,
let's make this happen. And
I am gonna make like so much money.
World.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what you got to do. Next time you record with Pyrian, try to guess events that are going to happen in about 8 years' time when your videos finally see the light of day.
Yeah.
And then they'll maybe feel a bit more relevant. Or people will just think that you're fucking crazy because you're talking about shit that
never happened.
And has no chance of happening.
Or maybe
either.
They'll think that they're completely out of it and that they just haven't paid attention to current events.
Maybe.
I didn't know that Queen the band had reformed. I didn't know that they'd managed to reanimate Freddie Mercury's corpse.
He's back.
And
it's kind
with
of gray,
more sass.
he's still doing it. Yeah. So we're here today because by popular request, Turps, everybody wants to know what it's like being a dad.
Dad
and
chat.
Apparently,
2015.
Yeah, it's Dad Chat. It's Dad Chat 2015. That's right. Turps is, if you didn't know, a new dad. He just had a baby.
Dad.
He did it by himself as well somehow.
I did it all by myself, exactly.
He fucked himself, and now he's got a baby. So
fortunately, I've conned my wife into looking after her while I'm here. But it's been really tough for me. It was. I think the pregnancy was particularly tough.
Yeah, were you sore?
As a man. I found it quite alienating.
My balls were engorged. I just couldn't do anything with them. They were sore and sensitive, and even a brisk sort of whoosh of wind passing by them was painful.
To be honest with you, it was more the heckling I'd get in the street from women as I'm walking along.
Wolf
and
whistling.
They're like, hey, big balls! Hey! How's it going, testes? And I'd be like, again, just trying to get home. And sometimes it'd be really intimidating when, like, a group of women.
Well, you'd have to hoist them,
heckling
into the wheelbarrow first, though, before you head home.
Well, exactly. And the easiest thing to do was literally just to paint them orange, draw a face on them, and pretend they were a space hopper. And that way, people just thought, oh, that he's just enjoying a space hopper, rather than that man has the world's biggest balls.
Hey, elephant boy! Damn, you got big balls.
Bounce those over here, baby.
Oh man, yeah. So the reality
we joke it's horrible for women. I'm really worried as now a dad of a little lady of the horribleness of the world.
Well,
I didn't realise how much we lucked out being guys, that we just really weren't subject to so much horribleness.
It is. I mean, it's easy. It's easier for guys. I mean, guys get their fair share of like bullying and horribleness or whatever, but it's a lot it's different than the stuff that like women have to suffer through
Yeah.
seemingly on a day-to-day basis.
Exactly.
I mean, for guys, it's
Yeah.
pretty isolated, isn't it? And like most of it is sort of like locker room stuff, like when you're at school or whatever.
Yeah.
In your later years, it's just like really pathetic, like office politics stuff that nobody cares about or whatever. But like women still just get like, you know, lots of like weird fucking aggravation all the time,
Just like
don't they?
sexual harassment from morning to evening, just the whole time.
Yeah,
and the thing is, it's
basically,
like
yeah.
I lived through the guy version, and it's not too bad. But I
No.
don't think I would have done that well on the lady version.
No, me neither.
I think I would have struggled. I definitely. The thing is like having witnessed a woman give birth.
Yeah.
I tip my hat to all of the ladies out there who
yeah.
have done that, because
retention has just gone up for like
It's-
the 2% of my women subscribers.
They're just like,
Trish.
oh
They're
yeah,
like, oh yes, clapping.
let's talk
and
about
whooping and
the birth. But it was one of those things that was just such a cacophony of emotion. I felt like so many different conflicting things, and just all of it just hit me like a big wall of just pow.
Yeah.
That you never really appreciate, like what your mum went through. to,
No,
like,
well, and you
to
try not
have
to
you.
think about it either because of all the sort of like
but even
things
then,
that are
I
involved.
made such a big deal of it in my mind throughout the whole pregnancy and stuff. I was thinking like, oh shit, man, that's gonna be traumatic. That's gonna be a thing. And the
Yeah.
reality is, it's such a tiny part of it. Like we
It
had
is, yeah.
9
And-
months leading up to it. The thing lasted like it was 27 hours in terms of contractions happening, but really
Yeah.
like it was serious shit for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And now I've got like a little human that's dependent on me. That's
I
the
know.
big thing. I should have
You
been
created
more
your own
concerned.
dude. Yeah,
exactly.
and now you can shape that dude into whatever sort
well,
of dude.
the thing is, obviously, to me, that's not that incredible. You know, we create dudes on a day-to-day basis in games. You know, and I often think back to, you know, like when I made my Skyrim character.
Oh
and
yeah,
You
No,
get
yeah,
to like level
totally
12.
relatable. Yeah.
Exactly. You get to level 12 on Skyrim, and you're like, oh shit, I've spec my dude wrong. And the
Yeah.
thing is that in a game, you can re-roll, you can delete it, you can mod it, you can do other things. In life, you know, I now am in a position
In
where
life, there's no rerolls.
there's no re-rolls. There's no re-rolls in life. And so
I
I
mean,
have to make
unless
sure
you're
I
like a
don't-
born again Christian, that's kind of like a
but
reroll, isn't
even then, I don't know, because you're not like starting from 0 again. You're starting
But
from like
what-
level 30.
okay. What if you move? Okay, you fake your death. Okay.
Okay.
So you pretend
I'm out
that
canoeing,
You died
as
in
I
a
do.
tragic canoeing accident. Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh shit, no! Mark
Oh.
Turpin, CEO of the Yogscast, has died today in a tragic."
He loved canoeing. He died as he
canoed.
loved living.
He was canoeing too fast, and he managed to somehow canoe straight into a gigantic corn harvester or something.
Yeah, exactly.
and
The
you-
mistake
you're
he
dead.
made was not canoeing on water.
Yeah,
And he was
and-
run
and
over
really-
on the M6.
And really, all you did was you just got like a big
I
bottle
just
of
threw a
ketchup
boat.
and
Exactly, I threw a
sprayed it
boat
all over
off
the
of
corn
an
harvester.
overpass.
yeah,
Just
and
onto
cut
a
canoe
motorway.
in half. So you're dead. Everybody thinks you're
Yeah.
dead, and you move to like a new country. You move to Brazil,
Yeah.
like where all the Nazis moved to or whatever
exactly.
when they were fleeing and stuff. And you completely reinvent yourself.
Exactly.
In that
And if
case,
anyone
would you
asked
say
about
that?
the atrocities of the Yogscast, I said I just followed orders.
Yeah,
Lewis
exactly.
told me to do it.
But would you say that is kind of like a reroll, isn't it? Like a life reroll?
Yeah, but even then, like I said, you can start over, but you don't get the same amount of game time. You've already completed the starting quests.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
then you're then kind of starting from a different place, and you're choosing to kind
Yeah.
of not carry across your new gear. It's like an expansion, I'd
Yeah.
say.
You
all of
always
your
take
old stuff
yourself
is
with
kind of
you.
irrelevant.
So if you're like a bit of a twat,
Yeah.
you'll still be one.
I'm always going to
regardless.
be a bit of a twat. You know? I can't do anything about that.
It's fine. There's nothing you need to do in that sense either, though. I think you just need to roll with the punches. Just be a twat and just enjoy it.
Just live
Embrace
it. Just exactly. You just
Yeah.
Is who you are. And
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
it.
important thing. Exactly.
So the whole pregnancy, the whole delivery and everything, you were saying that it was like 27 hours of contractions, but only about 4 hours of shit hitting the fan or whatever. I think that's pretty common.
Literally,
I think
shit was everywhere. Honestly, a delivery suite is like a war zone. It's just blood and shit everywhere.
Yeah, and
yelling.
then
there's screaming, "Ah! You son of a bitch!" I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I didn't mean to put a baby in there.
Yeah.
No, it was okay actually. I mean, we had a really good birth, and we rocked up to the hospital 9 centimeters dilated. That's amazing.
Wow,
that's like
good.
Boom. So literally, we got to hospital. Hour and a half later, baby born. It's like bam.
Pow.
So that was
that's
pretty
what you
crazy.
want. What time was your baby born? Was it like in the middle of the night or?
No, it's 5:34 p.m.
Wow,
So,
that's pretty
yeah.
good.
So it was good. We stayed the night in the hospital, which was all right. It was fine. And it was weird. That first night, it was like, she started crying, and I was like, oh fuck, this is my job now, isn't it? Like, oh, okay, right, that's fine. I've read a book. I can do this. Let me see. It's like a shitty flow chart, I think, when children are crying, babies, newborns especially.
Yeah.
It's like, are they hungry? Yes, give to mum. No. Are they? Have they shit themselves? Yes, change the nappy. No. Are they just tired and for whatever reason aren't sleeping? Yes, comfort them. No. Are you sure they're not hungry? And then you just kind of go through this sort of
when they're
feedback
newborns,
loop.
it's either they're hungry or they need to burp, or it's like a colicky thing or whatever.
Exactly.
So either you have to sort of rock them. I was going to say shake them, but rock them
there is a
very
fine
gently.
line between
No
rocking
shaking.
and shaking.
Yes.
And honestly, at 3 a.m, I can see how that line can get blurry. But it is something where you remind yourself, no, I love this child. We put a lot of time and effort into getting to this point. Let's not fuck it up now.
I think that's the hard thing. Well, I mean, especially for women when they're newly born, they don't do much, but they don't work like on a set schedule either, do they? Like you can't really time anything off them.
Not really.
So when a baby wakes up, they're hungry, and they feed like sort of regularly every sort of like 3 or 4 hours, don't they? Pretty much, yeah. At the start, I mean, she's getting a little bit more time between feeds sometimes. Yeah. But like during the days now, the thing this is where you kind of feel a bit shitty because I come to work and I've got like a really fun, amazing job. I know, you just get to sit around and talk about re-rolling your life in Brazil with me all day. Meanwhile, my wife's at home right now looking after this screaming baby. You have no idea the volume that this little thing is capable of. It gets worse, though. When they become toddlers, it's louder, well, like much louder. Well, the thing is, as well, is currently it is just like a load of negative kind of connotation all the time. Like the feedback is always like, it's never like, we don't have the lovely smile moment yet. Apparently that's like 6 to 8 weeks when they start smiling and being like happy towards you. Currently it's just like, oh Christ, I'm so hungry, come on, and then like you're like it's a tough thing to try and motivate yourself to be to be like, but things after she's fed and stuff, she's all cute again and she's all lovely, and it is it's weird. It's so weird. It is weird. You can't prepare yourself for it. It shakes up your whole life because you have, I mean, especially if you're like, sort of like late 20s or like early 30s or whatever. At that point, normally you've been working for a couple of years. You've got routines, don't you? Like you do like really fucking dumb shit on the weekends, and you have all the time. I go to bed at 8:30 now. 8:30 p.m. is my bedtime. That changes after a while. Like you'll sort of like get like your evenings back and stuff eventually, sort of thing. But at first, there's no way. It's just like it's all hands on deck. Everybody just like goes to bed at the same time. She's sleeping. Let's go to bed. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. That's the only time you get like any rest. That's going to be amazing. And currently, she only really likes going to sleep on me, which is, everyone's like, that's a bad habit to get into. But the other option is not getting any sleep and her just being all angry. So I'm like, well,
fuck it, I haven't really got a choice, really, do I?
Yeah.
So,
well, in a couple of months' time, like when you sort of like get to the point where they're not feeding like every 4 hours or whatever, and you know they start to sleep like straight through the night or whatever, you'll get to a point where like you'll get into a routine. So like you'll start putting your baby to bed at the same time every night or whatever. And if they fall asleep on you, it's hilarious because they'll fall asleep and you're like, okay, great, they're out. I'm just gonna like put them in their bed, leave the room, and then the minute they touch the bed and they don't feel the warmth of you or whatever, their eyes open and they just start to cry because they just want to sleep on you. So you're like, oh no.
And that's even now, it's like I feel like Indiana Jones. Just kind of I'm there with the idol in front of me, and I'm just thinking like, okay, right, just smoothly does it. Okay, I'm gonna put her down.
The bag of sand.
Exactly. I'm gonna step away. She's not gonna know a thing. And and now it gets to the point where it's like I'm pretty sure she's asleep, but I'm thinking, do I want to risk putting her down, or shall I just fuck it? I'm just gonna stay here. And that's where like Netflix has been amazing because with Netflix it just keeps playing, and it says like you've got the in between like, are you gonna do anything with your life today? No, I'm gonna play the next episode. And that's brilliant when you just got like a baby on you because it makes me feel like, all right, fine, fuck it.
Do you swaddle the baby, or do you have like one of those like harness things, like the man harness things that you put them in?
That we've got a sling type thing we can. So if I want to carry around, I can do that. It's quite an effeminate sling. It's not like a macho harness with like buckles and clips.
Well, I mean, those
like
things. I think those things are designed so that the baby can just sort of lay there and be on the breast like all the time, sort of thing.
Yeah, well, exactly. But she doesn't.
I think
take
that's what's
mine.
happening underneath those. No, I know.
Yeah, that's a tricky thing.
Too salty.
It's just.
No.
It's just no. If anything, I'm thirstier post.
I'm all dried out. I'm all parched. Yeah. No.
But and those are good because you can kind of move around and kind of get on with your life a little bit. And it's crazy. I mean, again, like single mums, how do they do that? Like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I think
first 2 weeks, like we were both working all the time, and we were both just completely worn.
I mean, as time goes on, it does get. Well, I mean, things change. It's not that it gets easier. It never like gets like easier in the sense that like there's less to do, because there's always a shit ton of stuff to do around kids. Like, and especially as they grow up, become toddlers, they become more demanding, and there's more things that like you just need to do with them, and there's more things that like need to happen before they can go to bed, and this, that, and the other, or whatever. But you definitely get to a point where you get into like a routine, and like with newborns at first there's not really much of a routine. Like it's really scatty, everything's all over the place, your house is like a total mess because there's never any time to do anything and stuff. And when you finally do get 5 seconds to sit down and put your feet up, that's all you want to do. You don't want to do like anything else or whatever. So but like eventually she'll get to the point where she'll just like sleep through and stuff, and it becomes a little bit easier. There's still stuff to do, like I said, but it gets a little bit easier, and then you can stay up all night and watch your fun movies by yourself.
Fantastic.
Yeah. You'll sort of get to the point where I don't know, maybe you've had this like already, but have you ever like delved into the man zone? Like, has that happened to you yet?
The man zone? What do you mean?
The man zone is sort of like it's like an elevated state of mind. So like, your
it's
wife
the highest state of being. Okay.
It is, yeah. Your wife is like asking you to do stuff, and like the baby is crying, and the song that you hate the most is playing on the radio, or like somebody is just driving like a geriatric, or so all these things combining together, which would normally just like drive you insane. But you've just got Spanish Flea like playing in your mind, and you're thinking about like a really efficient play in Hearthstone or whatever.
Yeah.
And you have at that point entered into the man zone where you just like it doesn't matter what's happening, and you just like Dukes of Hazzard style drive the car off a cliff or whatever, and Spanish Flea's still playing. You're still thinking about efficiently trading minions for value and stuff like that.
I guess
and,
actually, if I played the full Taskmaster second, and it was a frost trap, I would get myself an extra. Yeah, that would. I would have lethal.
Yeah. The man. What you'll see. You'll do it. at one point.
The problem is I
it'll
found
happen,
that when
you'll
I
be
go
like, oh,
into
shit,
those
yeah, this
sorts
is the man zone.
of zones, is
Yeah.
then my wife expects a response at some point.
Yeah, no, they are. They're more. They're way more trouble than they're worth. But man, some of those moments, like I can remember them, and I just think like, oh, geez, it's amazing, like what your brain will do to like help you cope in situations, sort of thing. Like you just get like this. It's not even like inner peace or whatever. It's just this complete focus on things that aren't immediately happening around you, and you know, and then shit just plays out, and you're like, oh shit, I know what I need to do next time I play my fucking bullshit pay to win warrior deck.
Son of a
fucking son of a bitch. Yeah, the man zone. I think it's like a little bit underrated, but actually I value the man zone. I enter into it quite often.
It sounds like a good place for your sanity to
It is. It's a nice place. It's like if you live in an apartment and you don't have like a workshop or a garage or something that you could just sort of be like, I'm just going to go put some more Pepsis in the fridge or whatever. And like 10 hours later, you come back, glue like all over your face and stuff.
Yeah, glue. That's what it is.
If you don't have any of those facilities available, then the man zone is like
it's like a mental garage.
Your own little mental wood shop that you could just escape to for those moments where you need to or whatever. But I think that's all like sort of part of being a dad. Like this truly now is dad chat, isn't it?
It is dad chat. I like that.
Two dads, two wild and crazy dads on the internet.
And the thing is
talking about being dads.
Exactly. You've got obviously a little boy. I've got a little girl. And the current plan is obviously for them to marry once they're of age.
Well, we need to combine the families to restore peace to the kingdom, don't we?
I think that's the. Plus, I'm hoping that we're qualifying for the whole tax exemption thing you get in Jersey.
Yeah, well, that would be ideal too. Yeah, because I would love to help you out in that.
Exactly, that would be fantastic.
In that arena, that would be a real win for us. I think as a family.
That is, as a corporation, I would love that. I love my daughter. Don't get me wrong, but if she can save me 20 or 30% per annum, I'm signing her up.
I'm very thrilled by the prospect of the 20 to 30%. I gotta say, as much as I love my daughter, the percentage win thing for me is a big one. Yeah, no, that would be cool, wouldn't it? If naturally the two of them just got married one day without any like sort of like meddling from us. That would be weird.
Are you saying that your son is not going to come and ask my permission?
Well, I don't know. Does that happen these days? I mean, it's 2015.
I did.
It's not the 1920s anymore.
I asked my father-in-law.
Did you?
Yeah. More so just because I thought, why not? And the thing is that, my wife's quite the empowered lady, and she don't belong to no man.
Right.
But I still felt like, I'm going to have to interact with these people. Might as well check.
I feel like
I asked her mum first before I asked her dad, but still, went through the motions.
I feel like these days organized crime isn't as easily as identifiable as it used to be as well. So I think probably just as like a security sort of precaution or whatever in your case, ask, because you never know. I mean,
they might be mafia.
Exactly. And you don't want to disrespect in a roundabout way somebody who's part of the mafia, just in case.
Just in case. It's the same reason if I ever meet anyone and they are Italian, I have the utmost respect for them.
Yeah,
because you never know. You never know. They could be mafia.
So this way you've ticked all the boxes with your father-in-law. So if he might even be Russian mafia, which is worse, I think, these days than Italian. I think the Italian mafia sort of had their day, like in the 70s and the 80s. Yeah, I think it's all about the Russian mafia nowadays.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I haven't even thought about that.
Does he look Russian or?
No, there have been a few times when he's been running late, and I think he's Russian. The dad joke flows!
I love how you brought that. Yeah, I love that. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, shit. So he might be Russian. He might be part of the Russian mafia.
Could be.
You got his
Either way, I'm safe. I'm good.
So you're safe.
I'm good. He may be a feudal medieval landowner, but it's okay because I got his permission before bedding his wench.
Oh my god! Okay. Great.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It is.
So,
I believe so.
so being a dad, being a new dad, and having the sort of like delivery and the pregnancy and everything behind you, and sort of dealing with like the chaos that is a newborn, leading into them sort of, you'll get to the point where your daughter will sort of like lay on her belly and be able to support her head and stuff, and then she'll try to like turn around, like just roll around like onto her back, but they don't have like the muscles developed to do that, so it's like really hard for them to do. And it's really funny to watch because they're just like, like trying.
It's like and when you see a turtle in a cartoon get put on his shell.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So then they can turn around and stuff. And then before you know it, it's just running around and jumping on your bed all the time while you're still sleeping in it. And repeating, like asking a question that you answer. And then literally just a second later, just asking the same question, even though you've answered it already. And that happens about 20 or 30 times within the space of like 3 minutes. So you have all that to look forward to as well. It is fun, though. Being a dad is very fun. Kids are very fun, especially your own kids. You know, like, I don't know if you're like this. Other people's kids I have no time for, but my own kids, obviously, I have plenty of time for, and I love them and everything. But yeah, like, I don't know how people like mind other people's children and stuff like that. That's just not my bag at all.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. And I've always been tempted because I've got this unique opportunity now where basically for a period of time, anything I say is the gospel truth. It is the fact of the world. And whether or not I should try and have some fun with this in like, I don't know, maybe just saying like, I don't know, like everyone has to walk in a funny way when outside on the street. Yeah. And just how long... And I don't know how much of it is kind of mentally scarring and bordering on child abuse, and how much of it's going to be like, got you!
You have to remember, though, that you can't stitch up a kid like that because they're like they're your buddy. So when you're with them, they want you to do everything that they're doing. So if you convince them that walking funny down the street is the thing to do, they'll expect you to do it with them.
Oh, I can do that. That's fine. I don't mind that. It's more so just like, you know, if there's a way to, I don't know. I was thinking
convince them.
Yeah, just like I remember Jared Christmas. He's a comedian. He was saying about how with his daughter, he convinced her that guacamole was called jalapale or something like that. And so he was like, you know, and they would have it, you know, like nachos and dips and stuff at home all the time, and you know, pass the jalapale, then, you know, she went round a friend's house once for a Mexican, and like him and his wife were like, "This is it. This is the moment. This is the moment." And she just comes back that evening really angry. Dad, it's called guacamole. You know, she's like, "Yeah, I got you." You know,
it's I'm like just thinking the
long con. Exactly. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it or if it's scarring.
I mean, no, but that one's like really harmless, though. I think if you could pull that off, that would be really fucking funny. But like, I don't know, maybe something that's like really embarrassing or that could like socially stunt them or something.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that could be a bad thing. Yeah, good point.
Because like, how many people actually like they're not going to go to a kids' party and they're going to be like, "All right, it's a guacamole party. Bust out the guacamole. All right, kids."
That's why you know that you've got. They're going to be in their teens before that one.
Yeah, exactly.
That one drops.
That one's like a surefire thing. Like if you like mispronounce like a type of wine or something like that, then that's probably okay because, again, I mean, well, I say that. I mean, kids do sort of occasionally drink. Well, French kids drink like fucking tons of wine. They drink wine
all the time. They love it.
Jesus. And then, of course, like if you're not French, you go through that period when you're like 13 or 14 where you get somebody to buy you wine and then you drink it outside.
Yeah.
And then you just act really shitty for like 10 minutes because you drank the wine too fast. You ever do that?
No. Well, yes, actually, I had I think I was 16, 17 maybe, and I went to a pub with some friends who were older, and we started doing a Centurion with Blue Nun. So every minute we would have a shot of this really cheap, nasty wine called Blue Nun. I fully recommend it. And all I remember is having to phone my parents, them picking me up and spending the rest of that evening and the following like 2 days just hugging a toilet bowl throwing up continually.
Yeah. And your parents telling you that they're not mad at you, they're just really disappointed.
Oh no, my dad was mad. He was definitely he was like, you're an idiot. You know, you need to get your life together. And,
but 16 or 17, that's sort of like the time to do that kind of stuff, isn't it?
Well,
Like,
I guess so, but then you've got to
kinda
come down
young
hard
still,
on them
but-
at the same time, you know.
Tough love. You
Tough
have
love.
to show tough love.
Exactly.
Oh,
I
man.
just looked it up. You can buy Blue Nun from Tesco. Do you know that Tesco are the biggest wine buyers in the world?
Yeah. Well, I
Crazy.
think Tesco are like the biggest lots of things in the
per
world.
case. Oh, Christ. I was about to say, I just saw Blue Nun here, and it says £34.14. I was thinking, Christ. But that's per case. It's £5 per
become
bottle.
very, very premium.
I was thinking like, oh, yes. Bleu Nun. Yes,
It's a
the French.
vintage Blue Nun, circa 1999.
2014 was a great year. It's like
£80
it was
per
last
bottle.
year. Yeah.
Blue Nun.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
listen,
good,
Turps.
9.5%. There you go.
That's it. We're done. That's all we have time for
you wait
today
till
on
it
Dad
hits
Chat.
30 million. 30 minutes, and you're like, boom, done.
Well,
okay,
normally
next
I
up on
actually
channel
wait
is
till-
going to be some Gmod.
For like the billionth time. No, I usually wait till about 20 minutes, but we've
Really?
overshot
Oh,
massively.
sorry. I'm sorry,
No,
I'm
it's-
so much longer.
It's fine. There's lots to talk about. We'll have to do it again. If you liked Dad Chat and you would like more Dad Chat, obviously let me know. Leave comments or let us know in Reddit or whatever, and we can definitely come back and do more Dad Chat and talk about all the other shit that just crops up around Dad Chat.
Oh wow, so many things.
Like
to do.
living in Brazil and buying cases of vintage Blue Nun from 2014.
Trying to fit them in your canoe, and then realizing, oh, hang on, the police are looking for me.
Hang on a second. This Blue Nun isn't Blue Nun at all. It's some sort of. I gotta go. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. So all right. Well, we'll be back. We'll be back again some other time. I'll be back again by myself. I'll be back again with other people. Did you enjoy this, Turps?
I loved it. I'm a big fan of Rambling with Sips.
Oh, great. Okay,
I was chatting
thanks.
with Martin in Littlewood yesterday. And
From
he was saying,
inthelittlewood.com.
From in the Littlewood, youtube.com/inthelittlewood.
Yeah.
And he was saying how he very much enjoys Rambling Sips because you can just kind of put it on. And it's just like, then you go, you put it on, and then you kind of, do other things. And you know that you kind of got a solid 20 plus minutes of entertainment there. You don't have to watch anything necessarily. So it's kind of a nice background thing.
I wouldn't class it entertainment.
No.
It's
White
sort
noise,
of like
white
white
noise.
noise.
Exactly, yeah. It's that sort of thing that it just settles your nerves a bit, just knowing that there's someone else chatting and it's not the voices in your head.
Nice.
It's one on the computer.
Well, I'll take it. I mean, I'm flattered. That's
I've
really
heard
nice.
that about you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Great. Okay. Well, you can definitely come back after all those nice compliments and stuff. Maybe not other people, depending on how hostile they are towards me on my own weird talk show or whatever.
I think it'd be nice for you to get each individual member of Hat Films on and just to say to each one that they are your favourite out of Hat Films.
Yeah.
Because I don't reckon any of them will actually listen to the other ones.
No, I know. And then they'll all be like, oh, shit,
yeah.
Sips thinks I'm the favourite.
And you just say, like, but don't tell the others, okay? Don't tell them. Okay, because I don't want to be awkward next time we record.
No. Don't tell them. And then each one of them will think that they're the fave.
Exactly.
And then they'll all turn on me in a catastrophic sort of showdown where
it'd be like Romeo and Juliet. They all kill
they
themselves.
dismember me and stuff. Yeah, it's going to be the worst. But also, like, fun at the same time.
As long as we film it and upload it, it's a win.
It's a win. Great. Okay, well, we say goodbye to you then, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.